Hi guys, we're gonna continue on with where we left off, and I just want to bring you up to speed really quickly on some changes I've made. This is still our data form, and I've taken out that list box that was in there. And what I want to do is add something else. So all of these different drop downs, for some reason, are expanded in mine. Um, I want to go to data, and I want to go to data grid view, and I'm just going to put this in there. Don't click on it. Don't worry about it for now. I just want it to be there, and don't worry about renaming it because I'm just going to leave it as is for now. Okay. Now I want to go back to my Server Explorer, and what you'll notice is that I've got these other tables in there, and I think what we did together last time was users. Uh, I've added people and I've added courses. What I'm going to do now is add another table called students, and I'm actually going to give you all the code for this. So I've got all the SQL code in here. I'm going to provide it. That way you can just grab the pieces you need, and you can build the tables and populate the data. Okay, so let me just go back to Visual Studio here. And if I go over to my tables, I'm going to right click on tables, add new table. And keep in mind, this is going to be extremely slow. Okay, so you see mine is doing nothing. I've been finding that this takes quite a lot of time in between. Your computer may not. I think it has more to do with my Wi-Fi at home. So what I'll do is I'll pause this stuff in between so you don't have to sit here and watch my computer do nothing. Okay, so what you're seeing here is two different areas. I've got my SQL, um, my scripting area down here, and then I've got my table design area up top. And by clicking this little button here, I can reverse the order of them. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now anyway. Um, so in the file, what I want you to do is go and grab um, this little chunk of file right here, this table. We're going to create a table for students. Notice I've got the student ID as my primary key. Okay, and I'm just literally going to put this in here. Okay, from there, I'm actually going to hit my update. Sorry, I'm going to get pop-ups all the time on this. I can't, I just don't have the time to stop it. So I hit update. It's going to take some time. Yours may be quicker than mine. I have this pop-up that came on my screen, but I'm actually going to cancel that because I want to go in and do some editing. For example, I want to take away this, unclick these dots or boxes. I find the best thing to do is if I can go in here and type not null, because I want them all to be not null. With the exception of date of birth. So I did it, I went in manually, I changed that. Just waiting for it to actually update. Like I said, it can be really slow. Okay, and the last thing I want to do is go to the student ID. I can click on it in the table and make sure that when you get over to here, the identity specification is set to true. Okay, that's a pretty important step. Now, once you have that all into place and you're happy with it, then go to this here and hit the update. You'll see this window pop up. Okay, so you're going to get a window that looks like this with some of this information, and you want to check that include transactional scripts. I want you to hit update database. Okay, if all goes well, your students table should be over here. Okay, if you don't see it right away, then go over to here and hit the refresh button and wait a few seconds, and it'll probably cycle through each table and then it will add it. Okay, and when I click down, it's expanding. It doesn't have any data in it per se, but I've got this these headings inside my table. So what I want to do next is go ahead and actually populate that data. So if I right click on it and say show table data, so you should have come to a screen that looks just like this. which is great. And because of this, what I want you to do is actually go to this button here. It's a script. And click on that. Go back to the file I gave you. Get all this. Put that back. There. So you've got that, and you've got all that data in there. And now what I want you to do is actually run it. So you hit this little button that says execute. Go ahead and do that. And it should execute that script, and you'll see all of your data all along here being executed. So if you've gotten that far, pat yourself on the back, because you've gotten through quite a bit. And the last thing I want you to do is just go over here and hit the refresh. Drop that down, and then let's see if we can go and find our actual data. I can promise you that it is actually in there. So we hit this one here, this refresh, it should populate all that stuff. If you've gotten to that point, you're doing great. Okay, and there it is. So check that out. We're all good with the data that we were looking for. Okay. Just really quickly, I will go on to here. Notice I've got the same thing. And I've got people in here, but don't worry about that. I'm mostly interested in students and courses. Okay. And one more thing I want to draw your attention to is that along the tops here, you're going to get these extra data files. Don't forget to save those. Okay. Save those, just Control S. It's probably going to ask you where you want to save it. Just pick a location that you can keep referencing. Okay. Just like that. Okay. Anyway, thanks. There will be more to follow on this video. Okay. I'm going to do small segments and then go from there. That way you don't feel like you're getting too far behind. Okay. Thanks.